recording me putting the light on? That's cute.
If you can go.
Say something, go louder?
You can go low.
Oh shit.
Hello.
No.
Is it on?
Yeah, you're good.
Is this thing on?
So you probably put it like lapel on your. That's too low.
You're too low.
Good point. Good job so far. Say something.
Something? No? Little higher? Little higher. Good. Test. Everything good? We good? Awesome. You're speaking out. A little bit further.
Say something.
Something.
Testing, 1, 2, great. It's me. Beginning.
Well,
We're waiting on you, Adrian.
getting ready to begin.
We got a while. I just like watching you run, though. What's my time? Like, how long is the talk going to be? 5 minutes. All right. No, it'll probably be like 40. Maybe 30 to 40.
Yeah.
I usually talk fast whenever I'm nervous, so
They just got out next door, so
I can wait.
give it an extra like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So people actually.
Let me actually turn the sleep function off on this thing. That's probably a good
You're
idea.
gonna talk long enough between slides. It's gonna go to sleep.
Yeah. Actually, I'm just gonna let y'all read the slides and then I'm gonna go.
Remember times I've been in meetings where people had slides
Oh yeah, dude, it's
with
horrible.
like more than this information per slide, and they just start reading line by line. I'm like, what is your function here? Like,
Yes, you pass butter. Where do you go? There's power options. Is there a power option? Energy.
well, you probably won't.
Look at that. 1 minute.
Yeah, we actually didn't prepare any slides. It's just an episode of Rick and Morty. Sorry.
Don't put that on the radio, dude. If Eric comes in here, I'm pulling him on the stage. Has anybody done that yet?
No, I don't think so.
Is it recording
I
yet?
don't have alcohol though, so
The threats of spanking keep coming up. I don't know.
Cry0 would do that.
Oh man.
I guess there really isn't. Hotel would be proud.
If I sniff alcohol wrong, I'll immediately get drunk. Hey, I can show you later.
So how long should we wait? Is this too loud? Does it sound like I'm molesting you in your ear? Welcome, sir, in the black hat. Good? All right. Yeah, we're good? All right. Okay, everybody. So our talk is about network security monitoring through proactive measures. Who was at Dave Kennedy's keynote this morning? Anybody? Awesome. So a lot of what he talked about in regards to like taking on the attacker mentality while securing your network, it kind of alludes to what we're trying to achieve here. So we're going to go real quick who we are. My name is S0ups. This is Cry0. Say hi, Cry0.
Hi, Cry0.
I mean, if you want to know more about us, you can Google us, track us down, stalk us, whatever.
Yeah, you can use whatever you learn here to try and track us down.
There you go. Or you can do the capture the flag OS sent one. Okay. Yeah, apparently I wasn't supposed to say that, but so why are we here? Like Dave said, it's the security landscape's changed a lot. Just monitoring IDS and AV endpoint logs really isn't going to cut it anymore. It's time consuming. It's overwhelming, and you kind of need to take a step further to detect potential breaches, right? So in order to do that, we need to kind of adapt how we think about network security, right? So we have to kind of take our viewpoint and view it as we're an attacker, kind of obtain as much information as we can about our own organization and utilize that to enhance our network monitoring capabilities, right? So we're going to improve our habits, our threat knowledge, and monitoring capabilities in that way. The goal is to obtain actionable intel as early on in the attack lifecycle as we can, right? So that we can basically either monitor more heavily a particular IP address attached to a threat or stop it outright. Hopefully we'll be able to impress the hell out of our bosses, and we will also find as many butter pictures as possible, because when I created this, I had a butter fetish, apparently. I don't know why, it's weird. If you've seen Rick and Morty, you may get it. So again, we're going to try and bridge the gap from a preventative mechanism to a more detective capabilities and kind of merge the two together where we detect by monitoring, I guess, external sources and stuff outside of our own network. Butter, again, talking about butter, that's great. Butter's awesome. So, hunt teams, I'm not sure if y'all are aware of hunt teams, but it's basically organizations within your security department that actively scour your own network for indicators of compromise, IOCs. And in order to kind of facilitate that better, our goal is to obtain actionable and applicable IOCs as quickly as possible and import them into our detection measures as quickly as possible. So yeah, I said that. Cool. So Cry0's going to talk about the attack lifecycle real quick.
Okay. So, as most of you probably know, this isn't too loud, is it? It's not too... Okay. As most of you probably know, the attack cycle goes something like gather information, well, I mean, it's right there. Okay, anyway, it's right there. I'm pretty sure most of you already know it.
Yeah, so, I mean, basically an attacker tries to find out as much about his target as he can, right? And then from there he fishes and exploits whatever he detects, whatever potential holes he finds. So our goal is to basically move our monitoring capabilities to the recon and enumeration, which is really difficult, or the phishing and exploit phase early on, so that we can basically stop it in its foot tracks. So step one is to think like an attacker. So
yeah, and sorry for freezing up. It's just that there are literally so many different variations on the attack life cycle. Like, I know the OSCP says one, the Metasploit book says another, and then this says another. So there's three right there. But anyway, think like an attacker. The less you know, the more you can learn, which goes for anything really. But in this case, the less you know about your company, your organization, whatever it is that you're a part of, if you just completely forget everything about that, then you can start to look at it from really a ground level kind of view from the bottom up. Because if you just keep that mindset that, oh, I know about, let's say 30% of everything about the company or the organization, then there's certain things you're not going to be as keen on researching or looking at. Whereas if you just start from the ground up, just start researching in Google, company holdings LTD, and let's say that's your company, and then seeing what the first results are, starting from the very bottom. And having a definite goal in mind whenever you are, gathering information, you do want to always have a goal in mind, whether it's looking for a particular type of vulnerability, whether it's looking for a particular type of information. So like, let's say you're like looking for credit cards, like credit card numbers that were posted, or maybe some other, data posted by an employee, a member, or whatever. And then, you're looking through, you see something that looks like it might be that, but then you realize, yeah, it's the person you were looking for, or the type of data you were looking for, but also there's other data there. Like, let's say they're having problems with SQL or PHP or something like that, and that's, one of your members, one of your employees. Well, then suddenly you can change your goal to, oh, I'm looking for credit cards, to now I'm looking for, has this person posted anything anywhere else that might give me a better idea of, what type of issues that they're facing in the company or organization, and all that jazz. So the goal is constantly changing, but you always want to have the goal in mind, because that's, what you're going to be directed towards looking up, and you're not just going to be like, well, I didn't find it like in 5 minutes, so I'm just giving up. It's like, no, I really want to find information on this. Let me think of other ways that I can word this or look it up, that kind of stuff. Research with the intent of gaining entry, of course, because any attacker is looking to gain entry into some kind of system, whether it's exfiltrating data or whether it's just exploding it. And passive information gathering is definitely the main focus, because with active information gathering, yes, you can see what ports are open, you can scan web pages, you can see what kind of vulnerabilities are actually there, you can see what kind of exploits you can do, all that jazz. But let's say you find a vulnerability in a page, and then you start monitoring for it. Well, let's say you use like Snort or something. Well, now you're monitoring for it in Snort, so anytime anyone goes to exploit it, they'll catch it. But what if there's something else out there that shows like, hey, look, we got vulnerable pages here, 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 and here? Then suddenly it's bypassing the Snort rule entirely. So passive information gathering is much more useful because it can show you where your weaknesses lie, not what your weakness is. And it can show you what kind of not landscape, but what kind of, I guess, just holistically all the information that's getting out about your company or organization. And yeah.
Knowing your shit.
Know your shit. So, again, reiterating, forget everything about the company or organization, because starting from the ground up will give you a much better idea of not only what an attacker knows about the company, expectedly, but you may also find things that you don't know. Like if you just start, like let's say you're an accountant, you know a lot of things about accounting, and then you can go through, looking for that kind of stuff and then find, oh, hey, look, here's a huge, thing I didn't even know about.
Google operators.
The what?
Google.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the public resources to gather info. By that, I mean 90% Google and 10% other things. But you want to be as discreet as possible, which again goes back to passive versus active. Passive is better, whatever. Get creative with your Google queries. Don't just search company holdings Ltd, tax bracket. Actually, if your website or organization does have a site, you can use the site operator. And let's say there's a few subdomains to, company.com, let's call it. Well, let's say there's accounting.company.com. Well, if we don't want to look at anything from accounting.company.com, or if we want to just enumerate all the subdomains, we can just put minus site, just site with a dash, dot asterisk, because, we don't want anything with accounting as a subdomain. And then you can just go through those and really filter it down, get really granular with not only the subdomain that you're looking at, but also filtering out to see what kinds of other subdomains exist. File type is another very useful one, which of course determines the character encoding. No, the file type. And of course, the others I'm sure
Google
you can
Foo
figure
is,
out.
yeah. Cry0's strong with the Google Foo. So the goal is to basically search your site and external sites for any sort of information about your organization that could potentially be used against you, right? And then you can basically use that to kind of hone your monitoring capabilities and where you're monitoring. Wayback Scraper, what is that? That's your thing, isn't it?
Yes, I actually made a script that goes through the Wayback Machine, and
Everybody know what the Wayback Machine is? Internet Archives. It basically scrapes internet and all the websites, as many websites as it can, I guess, and just stores a local copy of it. You can go in and access it. It's really cool. You can go look at old websites of yours.
except if it has a robots.txt file. If it has one of those, it won't even touch it, even if it has a huge, huge archive of everything. And that's actually one of the things that happens is someone will, a domain will expire, someone will pick it up and then add robots.txt so they can't even look at the historical records anymore. They're all still there.
Yeah.
They just won't show you.
So what does your scraper do?
The scraper actually, all it takes is a domain and or subdomain of a website. Like it can take company.com or accounting.company.com or this.is.not.accounting.company.com. It'll actually go through and get results of every single page that's been archived under that domain or subdomain. That's essentially what it does. It just produces a list of every single link, essentially.
Okay. So other cool OS and stuff that you could utilize. So Pastebin, I know Pastebin in particular has this functionality, but if you have a free account for Pastebin, you can actually set up alerts for any public post. Any public post that contains keywords, it'll automatically send you an email on. I think the free license, every 12 hits, you have to go in and reset it. But it's pretty cool. You can actually set up alerts for your brand name. So if I wanted any Pastebin posts with NolaCon in it, it'll automatically send me an email saying, "Hey, this post has NolaCon in it." And I've actually discovered a lot of dumps and leaks for organizations that way. There's also docs posts, a bunch of different websites that Script Kiddies and all these kids use to post docs of each other. It's kind of sad to look at sometimes, but you can utilize those sort of mechanisms to kind of detect maybe one of your employees got their whole life stories on the internet somewhere in one of these Pastebin posts or docs posts, or their username and passwords are in there. You can utilize that and kind of move your monitoring capabilities to kind of detect what they're doing. On your network. So maybe they could utilize the personal information posted online to get into your network, right? We actually have, if you have a paid account for Pastebin, there's an API that you can utilize, and we have a paste scraper that'll actually go out and whatever keywords you feed it, it'll actually go out and grab those posts once they're posted, because the alert mechanism for the free accounts, it keeps it on the website, so if it gets deleted, you won't see it. But the API, you can actually pull them down real quick, download them locally. RSS feeds to stay on top of current events, just so you know what. That's kind of stupid. I don't even know why I added that. Twitter. So I have a couple of channels in TweetDeck to monitor my brand. So if any sort of mentions of my company are there, I can know what's going on with the my organization. If anybody's talking about doing stupid stuff. LeakedIn is another Pastebin. It grabs Pastebin leaks, LeakedIn.com. I have a whole list of username and passwords, and it's updated pretty regularly. Red team stuff. I'll talk to that real quick. Red herrings.
Yeah. So external pen tests, from pen testing companies and security assessment organizations can also they can reveal different vectors that you may have passed up or that your internal auditing team may not have seen. Or it may be the exact opposite.
And it's important, not just regular scheduled pen test, right? Just constantly, and that's kind of what you're doing through searching your public sources, just kind of keeping track of what's out there on your organization so you can be mindful of what could be utilized against you.
Yeah. And knowing the publicly available information, you actually can, like, based on how much of the information, like what kind and how much of that particular kind of information is out in the public, you can actually examine that and create red herrings or honey tokens or even, false data. And in your monitoring software solution, whatever, you can actually look for those very specific things that you create or you put out there along with all the other stuff, so that it detects, for an absolute 100% fact. If anyone uses this particular thing, then it's targeted, and it's targeted at us. And it differentiates it from, let's say, like what is it, Shodan scan, whatever it is, or just like an Nmap scan.
We already talked about public posts and
that right there is a pen tester. She's testing pens.
Yeah. All right. So phishing crap. So Dave Kennedy actually mentioned in his talk, like 82% of the risk lies at the endpoints right now, as opposed to like 14% of the perimeter. So I believe like phishing is a very important detection mechanism that you can utilize. So you can monitor for suspicious domain registrations. There's a bunch of services available, like Mark Monitor, Domain Tools. I have a few listed there. Domain Tools is really awesome. But basically what you can do is you can set up, like similar to the pastebin alerts that I was talking about, you can set up like keywords that these services will actually monitor for, and it's geared towards brand monitoring, like brand infringement. But you can utilize it to basically detect any sort of suspicious, malicious domains registered targeting your organization. So, for example, NolaCon.com. If we wanted to monitor, like we could add in N0LACon.com, and any domains registered that match that keyword. Well, what? Am I good? Yeah? I'm good? All right, yeah. Yeah, with a 0. I gotcha. Okay, so basically you would be alerted, and it's really simple, at least Domain Tools, is it'll actually send you a daily email like, hey, these are the domains that have registered that match your keywords. And like you can catch, I've caught like malware sites that like basically copy an exact copy of your website and are used to distribute malware like that. We've caught phishing attempts, typo squatting type thing. And what you can do with this information is you can either monitor it further, like set up monitoring rules for any emails inbound from this domain. You can also like just straight up block it if you want, I guess, but I like monitoring things better. You can utilize, there's URL Crazy, which is pretty cool. It's a free tool in Kali that actually will generate, if you type in NOLA.com, it'll generate a huge list of like all these different type of things: typo squatting, brand jacking, homoglyphs, wrong TLDs, and some domains, and it'll pull out this huge list, and you can pick and choose from that and import it into these brand monitoring tools. So that's a really nifty detection mechanism. Another really awesome and effective at times feature is employee awareness training and leveraging your employees to basically report phishing or suspicious emails. And it can be kind of difficult at times doing the whole awareness training because people have different skill levels and all that. But there's a few different tools available. GoFish is an open source one, and basically what it is it allows you to construct like phishing campaigns, basically. So you can set up a target audience, like you can do it in subsets of your organization, and just set to send them like phishing attempts, right? And you can track to see who clicks on it, and you can supplement training off of that. But what you should do with this, though, it's really cool. PhishMe is a really nice one too. ThreatSim is pretty decent too. But basically, you want to create a communicated method of reporting these emails. So you want basically leverage your employee base to report potentially malicious emails to you, and basically you just have them forward you stuff that they think is bad, and you can go through and review it. You can extract IOCs if it is malicious, and you can toss that into your SIM or your other network monitoring tools and see if anybody else went to it that didn't report it. And you can potentially stop endpoint compromises through that mechanism. It's not stop completely, of course, but have a better chance of detecting them. That butter GIF is awesome. Or GIF, I don't know, whatever. More phishing stuff. Now this one might be really difficult to kind of get clout with, but you can utilize transport rules in Outlook or Exchange to basically insert warning messages into all inbound emails, right? So you could basically have a big banner at the top of all inbound emails saying, hey, this is not an internal email, so be careful opening attachments or clicking on links unless you trust them completely. And you can utilize that to kind of throw out your badass security guy at paycheckgenerator.com, report anything suspicious to me, right? That's pretty cool too. That helps with the whole awareness thing. And again, all these emails that you're getting reported to you, you can go in and do analysis on and pull IOCs, indicators of compromise, and import that into other systems again. I think Microsoft Office actually disables macros. I just threw that in there because it's important. A lot of the phishing attempts utilize docs with macros. It sucks. It pisses me off. Okay. You want to do this one?
So did you actually make sure that paycheckgenerator.com wasn't an actual
No, I didn't.
domain name? Because that
would suck. Whatever.
Yeah. Just report everything to that guy right there. That guy. That's who you want.
Apparently there's a badass security guy there, so.
Yep. But.
Yeah, so, you got this, right? You know that.
Yeah. The high-profile and vulnerable targets are essentially the people that an attacker is going to want to either attack or phish or, go after, find information on, so that they might be able to either construct a more targeted phishing campaign or, just stuff like that. And
so you can compile this list through your searches that we talked about earlier, your Google searches, to see who of your employees has the biggest internet presence, who posts the most stuff on Twitter or Instagram, or their LinkedIn profile has them blaring as the CEO of your organization. And you can basically take that and kind of maybe focus your training on that individual a little bit more and understand that they could potentially be a more valuable target for spear phishing attempts and everything. Yeah, you can import all you can see once you start getting a good flow of phishing reports in through your awesome reporting campaign that you have going, you could basically do analysis on who's reporting the most, and that could potentially mean that they have their emails spread out on the internet more so than others. You can utilize leaksource.com, which you want to talk about? That's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, leaksource.com is awesome. Everyone, so or at least most people know about the website haveibeenpwned.com, right? Is there anybody who doesn't really know what it is?
Basically, just type in your password and it says, "Oh, your password's been in this dump."
Yeah, you enter an email address, and it either says, "Yeah, everything's good, your stuff's not exposed," or it says, "Hey, look, your stuff is actually exposed here."
Yeah, and that's all related to the public releases that have happened, the
Adobe.
LinkedIn dumps, the Adobe leaks. I forgot the other ones, but the major WordPress dumps and everything. So and leak source is cool because it just makes it easy as hell to search. And I think there's a fee if you want to view the actual records. It's $1 or something a day or something.
Yeah, $2 a day. But dude,
and it can be limited too. Yeah, the search results.
Yeah, and the amount of information in leaksource.com. Imagine the Have I Been Pwned site, except you can actually see the data.
Yeah.
And it's in extreme detail, logs and just all kinds. You can search by wildcards. It's crazy.
Yeah. And again, you can take all that information and see, this person's been their email address that belongs to my organization they used to register on gokarts.com, and that website got leaked, and they use this password, and this password matches my password policy. Well, shoot. We may need to like talk to that user and get him to change his password and monitor him more readily and everything. Anything else? User, your web apps? Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a really, really big thing that actually I've been utilizing, and it's actually been very, very productive in terms of results. Is going through leaked source, you can search by username, IP address, email address, first name, last name, and phone number, like any of those 5. So if you know someone's username but want to find their email, you can do that. And again, with all those, you can search by wildcards. It's crazy. And by email, if you want to find some of their associated usernames, you can find those. And like, let's say, like an employee or a member's or an individual's email address. You don't know anything about their online aliases. And then, like, let's say it's in leaksource.com, then boom, you've got some aliases. You can start all the way over, like starting at the bottom, looking, into more information about that alias and what they've put out online. And you can do that for each and every alias. And then you can reverse search that alias in leak source and see more emails and then more usernames that way.
And that's what the bad guys are doing. They're doing that to compile information like that and utilize that into targeting phishing campaigns and spear phishing and everything. So
use leak source, it's good. They didn't pay me, I swear.
So IOC data sources, this is just a small list of a bunch of different sources of potential indicators of compromise that you can pull. A few of them have mechanisms where you can like extract the data easily. Some of them are more difficult. Basically, they're just lists of they're updated lists of like malicious URLs seen in phishing campaigns by other organizations that have reported it. IP addresses, MD5 hashes of files that are malicious, and you can pull these lists and import them into your monitoring capabilities, to monitoring software or hunt team metrics, whatever the heck, and just to kind of give you a more effective data source, I suppose. And you can also use malware discovered via your phishing reporting mechanisms, because if one person got it, there's probably a chance that multiple people in your organization got the same or similar rendition of a malicious file, and you can detect that through those mechanisms. Interpersonal connections. This is really cool. I like this. So like local groups, local security groups, network with those people and share information that you ascertain through your daily work and share it with them, because like a lot of times local organizations will get compromised, like your local school system's website or the local kickball team's website, and other people in your organization will go to that website too. So, and other organizations in your area will also go to that website. So if you have a network of people around you that you can share this information with, and they can share it with you, it makes it a lot more productive and awesome. You get what I'm saying. Awesome. Import all the IOCs. We'll talk about that in a second. Is this going to work?
Oh, it looks like it is.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
We even have audio?
Oh, what?
We even have audio from the projector. That's weird. All right. That was weird.
Neat.
Now we can't get past it. Okay. Now we're going good. I think we have like 2 more slides or 3 more slides. So threat data integration, that whole list of IOC data sources and everything, it'd be nice to just like have that all automatically feed into your data and into your like SIM and whatnot, right? SIM, security and incident, no, security and incident, thank you, incident and event management software, right? It's basically just a big system that all your other network appliances and endpoints and all your logs go to, so you can monitor easily. And you can set up correlation rules between different event sources. So if you have all your IOC data sources being dumped into there, you can correlate any network appliance or any endpoint going to this IP address. We know this IP address is bad, so we can alert on this IP address and we can go in and investigate, right? So if there's a mechanism to automatically import these I know a few of them do. These are all like weird open source ones that you can probably manually set up, but if you're able to do that, it's awesome. Integration and correlation is great. Makes your job easier. This is from, what is this from? That's from Ren and Stimpy, yeah. Haven't seen that in years. Okay, so you have anything else? I don't think we have a recap, and that's about
there
it.
is something on the previous slide. I do want to thank you for putting that last thing, because to make the open source intelligence thing a little easier for y'all to find me, my first name is Vint, last name Correlation. So thank you for that last part.
You're welcome. I should edit this real quick. All right, so a quick recap. That was quicker than 30 minutes. Well, I guess it's right at 30 minutes. Recap. So adopt the mindset of your adversary. Utilize as many open source tools as you can and mechanisms you can to... How many times have I said mechanism? A lot. Just scour the internet for any sort of information on your organization. Utilize that to kind of be mindful of where an attacker could potentially break into your organization with that information. Be aware of what's publicly available. Yes. Monitor relevant domain registrations. Very helpful. Train your employees. They're your lifeline. Train all the fish. Yes. Especially the fish. Extract IOCs and use them. Identify high-value targets and monitor. Cool. Y'all have anything? I kind of wanted this to be like a discussion, so if y'all have like any awesome ideas, step forward. Megan? Meg? No? Yes.
Back on your last slide, you said to monitor for domain registrations. I think one idea that you can do to take that a step further, become more proactive, is to actually just DNS single them within your organization.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of waiting for someone to go and monitor,
Definitely.
one of those different nuances is just put them all into a DNS single tomorrow within your organization. Then you can leave it, because then if a fish does come in, someone clicks on it, it results in nothing. And oh, by the way, you can go talk to that user and go pull that.
Yeah. And this is something I really need to think about more. There's two different ideologies here. That ideology of basically actively blocking and thwarting an attack from even happening whenever you have preemptive knowledge of it. To the other side of the coin is, do we just want to let it happen and be mindful of it and be aware, because this way we can, well, maybe not just happen, but I mean, if an attacker realizes that you've sinkholed them, they're just going to try harder. So maybe if we let them, I mean, I don't know. What's the end goal? To not get owned, I guess. So, yeah, let's just block it. Fuck it. We'll just keep monitoring. I don't know. That's something I really want to think about more, but yeah. Yes?
Just out of curiosity, do you know offhand if the source does an API?
It does not, unfortunately.
Yet. They're a fairly new
Yet.
service, too, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean, I've only heard about them in the last couple months.
I think in August of 2015 it started. But it actually does trigger a spam, like an anti-spam thing, if you search, I think, twice within 3 seconds. So unfortunately, there's no API yet. I hope there's one. That would be awesome.
Yes, it's cool. Like, we can search... No, maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. You can... Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. You can search in here. I know, like, some of my information's in here, and, like, it's crazy, because it's passwords that I still use, sadly. Password reuse is the worst. So I've actually had to go in and change. But it's really, like, you can do wildcard searches, but it limits it to 200 results, which kind of sucks. But still, it gives you a better idea. You can do IP address, email, name, first name, phone number. Really cool tool. They just imported to LinkedIn.com. Actually, they received a letter of fussing from LinkedIn about this, and they're like, whatever.
Yeah, like a cease and desist.
Yeah, they posted somewhere about it. So
I think like the first thing they said was, it's illegal in the state of California. We're not even in the U.S. We don't have to do anything. And then they went on like 11 more paragraphs, like refuting it. Just like, no, essentially. Just a really long no.
anything else? Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you all for coming down. I mean, y'all make this conference really. So that's the reason Rob over here puts it on, and all of us help out. It's because of y'all. So thank you all very much. Oh, and if y'all see Eric in the hallway, he's the other tall guy with a red shirt on, skinny guy. Tell him happy birthday because it's his birthday. So.